It's now time for Remember When with Uncle John. John Guess, Ouachita County's resident storyteller and local historian. Sit back now and enjoy a walk down memory lane as John recalls the days of yesteryear in his own unique way. You never know, some of it might even be true. So here's Uncle John, along with his trusty sidekick, Kelly Blair.
Back on Remember When with Uncle John. Well, here we are at the next best thing to a Friday. I love looking back and remembering when, and I'm not going to lie, John. When I was a kid, I fell in love with history, remembering when, because of wars. I mean, when you're a kid, you're not thinking about people losing their life and how hard it is and all that kind of stuff. There was action, there was fighting, there was tanks and all that kind of stuff. And sports. Love sports history. You said you got a little sports history for us today.
Well, you were, I guess, probably 10 years old, and you may not recall it like I do.
I was more like 8 years old.
And, I don't know a thing in the world about hockey. I know we didn't play hockey at Chittister.
I know they do it on ice, and they have to skate.
But I know in 1980 it was a big deal when the U.S. Olympic team beat the Russians.
Yep.
But a lot of people don't remember that the Russians weren't the final goal.
That wasn't the gold medal game, no.
But tomorrow would be February the 24th, and tomorrow's Top Tune Friday, so we got to talk about it today. But February the 24th, 1980, the U.S. men's hockey team beat Finland to win the gold medal.
There you go.
And I'm telling you, the Russian game, and they will play that back until everybody that was ever alive then is dead. Because that was one of the great moments of patriotism, in our society, in our lifetime.
Oh, and Al Michaels, if he wasn't already famous enough, do you believe in miracles?
And it just captivated a nation, captivated the time, and I can't remember, of course, I don't remember they've done several specials on them. I can't remember the one that had lost his mother, and he was skating around looking for his dad.
Yep, right.
And then you got the one with the flag draped around him.
The goalie was the one who was looking for his dad. Yeah.
But it was just. And of course, the coach. I can't remember his name.
Herb Brooks.
And he was just as intense as you could get. You know. And then when that clock was ticking down, and you realized that they were going to win, you could just see the emotion in his face.
Yep.
And you could see that, he cracked a smile, and the guy never smiled.
Never smiled.
And you could just see the emotion. And it's like they knew when they beat the Russians that Finland wasn't going to be nothing.
Well, yeah, but they did have one more game to play after that.
And people don't realize that.
Jim Craig was the guy you were talking about, who was the goalie on that one and everything. My personal, insignificant, for whatever it's worth, opinion, the job that Herb Brooks did with that Olympic team, because he had teenagers, he had young adults, he had college-age kids,
right,
21-year-olds, that took on what was, for all intents and purposes, a professional hockey team that was beating NHL teams during exhibition games and in the off-season and everything. That's the greatest coaching job's ever been done.
Yeah.
That is the biggest upset. I know a lot of people, NC State beating Phi Slamma Jamma, Jim Valvano. I love that story too. But Herb Brooks' job to take that team that is basically
kids.
That's not a team that worked together for 3 or 4 years either and everything. It was kind of an all-star college team that they threw together, and they had an exhibition season before you run out and go play the Olympics. Absolutely the greatest upset of all time.
Kids that were young enough to not understand the significance or the magnitude of it.
Yep.
And they pulled it off. And, like I said, I was 20 years old, and I wasn't caring about no sports. My mind was somewhere else.
Yep.
But, everybody, that was the time of the hostage crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And it united this country for just a brief while.
Oh, yeah.
And just solid patriotism.
Well, and there's no shortage of people that will say that could possibly be the greatest sports moment in sports history.
I would have to say so.
Yeah.
I would have to say so. And the reason being is people from Arkansas don't care about hockey.
Well, that's true.
People from Louisiana don't care about hockey.
There are all kinds of people in New York, California, and Texas don't care nothing about hockey until your team wins the gold medal.
But I'm telling you, it was a great moment, and it's a moment that I'll remember the rest of my life.
Go check out Do You Believe in Miracles movie with Kurt Russell. He did a phenomenal job.
I mean, acted just looked like the guy.
He even had the Minnesota accent. Accent, not accident, accent.
But all that took place, 43 years tomorrow.
Hey, I tell you what, it's fun to go back and remember when, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Hey, that's going to wrap up our Remember When for today, but we do want to thank Sherwin-Williams House Paint, the Shopper's Guide, and ProMed Ambulance Service for being our sponsors on this wonderful little show. I guess we'll see you tomorrow on Top Tune Friday, John.
See you tomorrow, Kelly.
You've been listening to Remember When with Uncle John on Y95. This broadcast can be heard each weekday morning at 6:45 on South Arkansas's favorite station, Y95.